What's up, guys? Got a very cool, very nice guitar to show you here. And kind of doing sort of my hot take on the best budget guitar out there. I've owned a lot of budget guitars. Like anyone who's played guitar, I've owned countless Squiers. I still own my very first 96 Affinity Squier, signed by Epica. I've mentioned that in some videos before. At some point I'll show it. But I've owned, or still do own, one Epiphone Les Paul that was like 125 bucks. I've owned at least two Epiphone SGs, the cheap ones, and I've owned one of the more expensive ones, one of like the $400 ones. But anyways, I've owned a lot of cheap guitars and inexpensive guitars. My favorite right now is my Telecaster that I would never in a billion years consider giving up, which is my FSR Seafoam Green, tricked out, highly customized Tele. I love that thing. But I picked up this yesterday. I actually bought it for a buddy of mine who's on his way to my place right now to pick it up. So don't have too much time to get this video in, but this is a Schecter Omen Extreme 6. Very cool inlays. Sort of reminiscent. They kind of almost look like PRS, like the bird inlays, but kind of give that like 1960s car vibe to me. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But this is an Omen 6 Extreme, and picked this up yesterday on Marketplace for $250 cash. So not very expensive. Guy had it listed for $300. Came with these D'Addario strap locks, which I'm not a huge fan of. They just do not feel very secure to me. Not what you want from strap locks. I don't know. I use the Dunlop ones on all my guitars. I would never switch from the Dunlop. They're just really nice. But anyways, back to the guitar. This thing's killer. It's flawless condition. The only little spot is there's a tiny, tiny bit, you'll never even be able to see it on the camera, it's so small, but a tiny little bit of corrosion on the very, very top of the bridge piece here. And that, who cares? It's gonna happen. It's just from the oils and everything on your hand from playing on that bridge piece. It does not matter. But the actual finish itself, beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous finish. See the back, I probably just see a bunch of reflections, but the back is fine, no complaints there. The neck feels excellent. I like this neck. I've owned a lot of Schecters. I've had two of the Damians. I've had the 6 and the 7, the Damian Platinums with the bat inlays that are super cool. I've had an Omen 8 that was actually one of my favorite guitars ever, and I still regret, well, I don't regret trading it. I just still miss that guitar. But I've had a lot of Schecters. I still have my SLS Elite 7 over there that I'll probably never get rid of because I love that thing to death as well. And honestly, like, Schecter is becoming one of my favorite brands. They're just, everything I get in from Schecter, I'm like, this is a high quality instrument. And I'm shocked at the quality and the build of it for the price. So I've had some Squiers that have had issues, and I've had one, a buddy of mine, or actually one of my students, has a really nice looking Squier Telecaster. It's in that classic like brown gold burst pattern. Really nice. But it has a tilted fret. Like one of the frets, instead of being level, was like jacked up on the side. I don't even know how that happens or how it passes quality control. It ended up being a pretty easy fix. Just took the strings off, obviously, put one of those little fretboard protector things on there, and then took a hammer and just beat the sucker back down and reshaped the fret. Not that big a deal at the end of the day, but that's just a kind of an issue that you don't expect on a guitar, like, ever. But these Schecters I've never had a problem with. The sides of the frets are a little sharp on this one. I suspect this guitar has actually dried out quite a bit. The guy I got it from said he'd had it for a couple years and just hadn't played it. He had a bunch of guitars. I know how that is. And for whatever reason, this one just never really got played much. But the pickup quality, that's one thing that I've complained about on Epiphone, on cheap Epiphones. A lot of times their pickups just sound like cheap pickups. And these sound great. These are just the Schecter branded Schecter pickups, just Schecter humbuckers. They're fine. The knobs on here are really nice resistance on those knobs. They feel great. They're positioned well. Switch is in kind of an odd spot, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But yeah, this thing, it plays really well. And I just, like 10 minutes ago, just restrung it, put Ernie Ball 10 to 46 on it, which I stringed on almost every guitar I own because they're good strings and they're very cheap. My real high-end guitars get coated strings, either Stringjoy Orbiters or Foxwoods, stuff like that. But anyways, about the Schecter. Matches my shirt too. Shout out Convictions, one of the best metalcore bands I've ever seen live. Easily top 5. Awesome band. But anyways, we'll turn the guitar on. You can hear it acoustic. Who gives a shit? And this is through the right side of a Black Arts Toneworks Destroyer and into the afterneath. So a lot of chaotic stuff going on. And if the guitar sounds a little out of tune, it doesn't to me, A, and B, I just restrung it. It's gonna go out of tune quicker. But there you go, just kind of the weird stuff. We'll take the afterneath off, so just through the Destroyer. Nice long sustain. The Destroyer is a very cool pedal too. If you've never seen one or heard it played or anything, now you have, but go check out some videos on the Destroyer. It's a very cool pedal. I wish I used it more. It's a very niche sound that not often I'm going for. If I want, usually my go-to fuzz is the Mass Effects, MAS or MAS, whatever. The tiny fuzz, I think I did a review on that as well, but that fuzz sound is like my go-to. I love that fuzz. Like, that's like a $60 fuzz. It's so cheap. It's so tiny on the pedal board. It's the best. I love that. I've sung the praises of those so many times though. They're just fantastic. But let's put some brutal distortion on it with the Skulls pedal. And one moment, I gotta change my noise gate setting because I think a cat bumped it. There we go. Play that song apparently. It has been a while. Still don't have the noise gate set just perfectly. Again, somebody bumped it, but badass guitar. I think these retail for like $400 to $500, something like that. I don't know if I'd ever pay $500 for this guitar, but at $250, wow, this is a really nice guitar. I'd put it against any like good like FSR Squire, anything like that, easily. Way better than the cheap Epiphones I've played. Now the SG400 I actually really like, and kind of want to get one of those back, just in a better color. So really like the SG400, but I like this Schecter a lot. And like I said before, Schecter is quickly becoming one of my favorite brands. Just the construction, even at low price points, is very, very solid. The guitar doesn't feel cheap in really any way. It doesn't feel like a beginner guitar that you would get, you know, for little Billy's first guitar on his 6th birthday or something. It just feels better than that. So there you go. That's all I got. It's not really a full review or anything like that. Just a good value find and wanted to share it with people. So the Omen 6 Extreme, or Omen Extreme 6, however they say it. And highly recommended. Very cool, very solid, sweet guitar, and a badass finish too. I love that. It's just really nice. So yeah, see you on the next one.